Hello everybody, and welcome to my new series, What's That?, in which we'll be taking a look at a variety of tycoon or construction-style games. If any particular one strikes your interest, let me know, and we can turn it into a longer-running series. Today we'll be looking at OpenTTD, which stands for Open Source Transport Tycoon Deluxe. The history behind this game is, back in 1995, Chris Sawyer, who later went on to create the popular roller coaster tycoon series, created Transport Tycoon, which had a bit of popularity in its time, but later on the source for the game was released to the public, and this game was created out of it by the fans of the original. Now, only the code source was released. None of the graphics nor the music was released. So all of the graphics you see here, and I'm not sure if I have music in this game right now, have been recreated by the fans to match the similar style of the original game, but it's all unique. And they've done a lot of modding to this game, so let me show you what the actual game looks like here. I'm just going to create a quick new game. I'm going to leave this alone. Let's just generate. And I know most of my subscribers are SimCity players, and one of the common complaints of SimCity is the size of the maps. But if you take a look at the size of this map, it's ginormous. There's one end, and further, and further. There's the other end. So you're not going to run out of room very quick with this. These map options. I think you can even go larger than this. So, in Transport Tycoon, you have planes, boats, trucks, buses, but most of the game, most of the interest of the game, I can't remember what all these buttons do, revolves around trains. So let's see if we can get a little train line going for a decent spot to start. A couple larger cities. Let's say, okay, let's just pick one here. Create a little station, just one track, length of 4. Pop it right in there. Create another one over here. Grab our tool. Now, because this game's been sort of heavily modified from its original form, there's a lot of little quirks you need to learn about the game that people have learned over the years. For example, the signaling options are quite complex once you get into it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. But right now we'll just run a single train line back and forth. No other trains to crash into. Let's put down our depot. And create a new vehicle. Get a diesel train. So yeah, as time goes on, current year is 1975, new technologies will appear. You'll get different types of trains, different types of planes, and even the track types will change. For example, we can get electrified trains later on, monorail, maglev, which go extremely fast, and hence the large size of the maps, because the maglev trains can actually get across them quite quickly. Okay, so we just got our engine there, and since we're going between cities, we want to grab passenger carriage. See, our stations are for 2 carriages. 2 carriages can fit inside of each particular square, so our train can be 8 carriages long, including the engine here. So let's buy. I'm just going to start with a mail van. And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And actually, it says right there 4 squares. So close this, close that, and then we tell our train to go to this station and then go to this station. We also have the option of telling it to wait for a full load, unload, and not accept anything, in case you want to transfer your cargo or passengers to other lines. Anyways, we'll just tell this thing to start going. Whoa, the zoom level's new, I don't remember that. Just stick right here. And what's nice is you can watch your trains over here, let you go off and do something else. So that's just a basic little passenger line. We can check our information, see it's currently running empty. First time the train shows up, it'll activate the station. Now there's people starting to wait. Quite a few, actually. Probably could be running a large train here. But anyways, let's close this, let it run on its own. Let's see if we can find a different industry to run our trains at. Because you can create quite a network of economy here, because there's a lot of different styles of industry. For example, you can get wood from forests, take it to paper mills to create goods, which you take to your cities, or you can get coal and iron from the mines and bring it to the steel mill, which you bring it to factories, which they turn into goods, which you bring to your cities. And the more passengers and goods you bring to your cities, the larger your cities will grow. There's a few missions or even multiplayer servers where the idea is to just grow a city as large as possible. So let's take a look at industries here. A really profitable line is bringing coal to power plants. So if you can find a couple coal mines really close to each other, if I saw a couple, I'll probably lose it. Let's say these two, and say this coal mine here. Zoom right in on that. Goes a little far. Okay, let's just find a decent line to do that. Don't have to make the most profitable ones here. The problem with having this gigantic map is there's too many options. Coal mines here. Where are they? 1, 2. Okay, yeah, these are close enough. So, I'm going to grab a new train station. Let's call it, say, 2 lines. Platform length 7. And I'll rotate it. And the blue squares around here is the catchment area. So we can actually cover both coal mines at once. So I'm going to do it this way. Just make it wider. And have all that coal going to one station. Some issues with the train here. There we go. Trees are kind of getting in my way. That's not what I want to do. I think there's a way to hide. And transparent buildings? No. Transparent signs. I don't remember how. There's a way to turn the trees off. I'll just leave them alone right now. So now we need to find... Probably should have looked at this before. There's a power plant. Bring coal over here. It's not too far. The farther you bring the goods, the more money you're going to make from it too. So it might be smarter to pass this power plant and go on to the next one. But just showing you as an example of how this game works. Oops. I want to build the other station on this side. Bam. I'm not going to use all those tracks right now, but usually you build your stations kind of large because only one train can fit in any particular line at a time, or what's this called? Platform. So if you have a lot of trains coming and going, you're going to need multiple platforms. I'm actually going to work on this line a little bit, show you kind of how... What's going on here? Oh, that's connected. How a multi-lined, multi-train system would work. So I'll just cut to that once I'm done filling around here. Alright, so I got a little system going on here with 2 rails. I have signals set up so the trains can only travel in one direction on each side, like a road. And at the ends, I have what are called pre-signals. So these are the exit signals, and this is the entry signal. If all 4 of these platforms are full, this pre-signal will stay red as well. That'll make sure the train will sit back here and not block the yard while a train is leaving. It also the yard will turn red for this signal too when he's leaving, so no other trains will come in. I've got 3 trains running here right now. They're supposed to be waiting for a full load. Yeah. I wonder. It looks like there's. Yep, he's getting full coat. Okay, so that's working. And the station is not filling up that fast. Different facilities will have different rates at which they produce. 112 tons is pretty decent. And they don't give everything to you right away. You have to service them for a while to get a good rating with them, and then they'll give you more and more. That way you can create a bit of competition. Say if another player, because there is multiplayer in this game, built a station on the same coal mine, if he had better service than he could take more of the percentage of the materials produced. This game is pretty neat in that they've had a lot of options for managing your vehicles. For example, I can just go clone train, click on that, add a brand new one, set it to go. It's going to do the exact same thing. We don't have to build a new train every time. You can also link your orders together. So if I pull up these 2 different trains, and so I'll just delete these orders. And I tell it to go to, how does this work? This train. It just copies the orders directly off of it. It doesn't say linked, but I believe. Oh no, wait, I think I did that wrong. Let's delete. Go to, and if I hold Control. Oh yeah, there, and shared orders. So now these trains are linked together. If I change the orders on one of these trains, they will change on both of them. So I can have all 4 of my trains doing the exact same thing, and I don't have to click through each one, because you can have a lot of vehicles running in this game. Where's my vehicle list? I forget what the limit is, but I think you can easily get up in the hundreds. You don't want to be managing each individual one every time you want to change a route. So this is a simple line. You can have other complicated versions. Apparently I messed up something here. Not working as planned. It's a lot of little tweaks you need to do sometimes to get things to work right. It's kind of like building a electronic system where all the circuits need to connect together. You got bugs you got to work out. But you can have much more complicated systems with like giant roundabouts or 3 lines where the faster trains can pass on the inside or outside. Go take a look around at some of the tutorials that are available online. I think there's a Transport Tycoon wiki. They'll show you all the different ways. Why is this not working? What's going on here? Ignore signal. Go in. Weird. I'll have to figure out what's going on. Oh, there's a train in there already. Oh! So yeah. Apparently we had a bit of an issue there. I don't know why that train was trying to go into that particular platform when it was full. But that's what happens when you mess up. Anyways, I'll show you some of the other little things you can do here. So this city here, and if we go to roads, we can build bus stations. Put one here, put one here, and also build a lorry station over here. Oops, I think I built that wrong. Just connect that up. There we go. So, lorry stations are just for mail goods, basically everything except for passengers, which are done by the passenger stops, obviously. Apparently 4 people died in that collision. We'll just ignore that. Whoops. And again, we need to build a depot for our buses and trucks to come out of. If I just hit the delete key, I can make all my windows disappear, which is nice. Wish SimCity had something like that. So I can create a couple buses. Tell it to go to here, go to here, and then set him free. And tell this one go to do the exact same thing, shared orders. Also make truck. Everything the trains can do, the trucks can do, but slower and smaller, but they can get inside of cities. You don't use trucks too often, they're not as profitable as trains, but they do have their place. I'm just going to tell this guy to, I won't tell him anything, I'll just let him roam the city as he sees fit. And then there are also planes and boats that we can take a look at, but they're pretty simplistic. Basically you build 2 airports or 2 seaports, and then they just travel back and forth, finding their own routes. While trains and vehicles, you have to set up more of a route. I mean, if you have the pre-built roads in the city, you can just let them go as they see fit, but if you want to have a bus route between the cities, you're going to need to build those roads. Anyways, this is just a quick look at the single player. I want to show you some of the multiplayer as well, so let's jump over to that. So often on these older or smaller games, you often have trouble finding players to hang out with in multiplayer, but there are a lot of servers and a lot of players currently still playing this game. I don't know which, let's just pick one at random. Let's find actually one with players in it. There we go. OpenTTD server. Let's see what they're doing in here. Join game. And I'm just going to go spectate, I won't create a new company. So there we got an airport with some pretty futuristic planes, because the year is currently 2156. A lot of passengers. There's a plane that's broken and putting its way in to get repaired. People have built maglev lines, fastest trains. You want to keep these lines as straight as possible a few turns. The more turns you have, the more they slow down. It's got the 3-line system, like I was saying, going on here, so the trains can pass each other if there's slower or faster ones. And they're just building all over the place. Because once you have a pretty good system going, you just have more money than you can ever spend, and you can change all the terrain to fit your needs. And obviously the easiest place to build is just over a flat terrain, so you just bring up the level of the ground and the water and build your system there. Some people play a bit more realistically. These guys have opted to just build efficiently as possible. Although, we've got some pretty basic lines going on in here, 2-line, 1-line systems. Once you have enough money, it's easy to just build a single line going from destination to destination without having complex routing systems like this with 5 different routes. So yeah, this is a couple airports over here. It's one of the larger cities. And I think this is just kind of an open-ended play. Let's go take a look at a different server. So here's one of the more interesting servers I was mentioning, called City Builder, which apparently in this one, your goal is to reach 8,000 population in a city before anyone else, starting year 1975. And it's in the temperate zone, which looks different, so let's join this game. So I'm going to go spectate again. Oh no, sorry, temperate is just the normal one. So yeah, we got one guy here. He's claimed this city to be his, and he needs to bring everything that the city wants to create it to grow cause it to grow as fast as possible. The rankings just popped up. You can see who's winning. So he's bringing in passengers from another city. Looks like he's getting ready to get some iron and steel to get to the steel mill here, which will turn into goods, which are probably going down this line. Oh no, that's for his ore. Yeah, eventually I'll have the goods coming out and bringing it over to the city, maybe even by truck, to cause the city to grow. Let's see, there's another... Oh yeah. Let me turn the trees back on here. Where is that setting? Transparency... Trees, there we go. You can plant trees in this game. It causes the cities to like you, because the more you change their road systems or blow up their infrastructure, they start disliking you under the, let's see, authority here. Yeah, the ratings. So he's poor right now, probably because he's been building too much around. Planting trees helps increase that back up. He's got quite a large line coming into it. Generally basic systems. Trying to see if I can find the more complex systems, but I don't think those happen too much in the competitive games. People just build as they need. I think I'll wrap this up here. This is just a quick look at Transport Tycoon Deluxe, or OpenTTD. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find the game. It's completely free now since it's open source. It's a lot of people to play online, and it's a very in-depth game if you want to start getting to have that fine granular control over every little detail. But it's also pretty simple to get into because, again, you can just build a simple line with 2 stations, 1 train, and build a whole bunch of those all over the place, and then slowly work your way up to these more complex systems. There's a lot of tutorials online. I'll leave a link to the wiki too. You can see all the different options there are for creating different styles of stations. Actually, before I wrap this up, there's one other thing I want to show you. Ban this game. So yeah, the different temperate zones, or the different biomes. Temperate is just kind of basic. It's the ones we've seen so far. Snow, slightly different requirements. Cities need food to grow, and they're usually up on top of hills. In the desert, cities need water to grow, but it's a lot usually flatter. And in here, we have Candyland, I think it's called. What is this? What does it call it? Toyland. I'll quickly show you what it looks like. People don't play this one as much, but it can be fun too. Oh man. So this is the city. A little lady living in a shoe. I don't know what anything is here. Wow, I guess those are trees. There's an industry of some sort. This is a toy shop, which I think is analogous, an analog to the goods. Bubble generator. Oh man. Somehow you gotta connect all these together. Okay, I think you take bubbles, right, and cola to the fizzy drink factory, and then you probably take fizzy drinks to the cities. But yeah, if you're looking for something a little different, you can build your candy tycoon in the Toyland. Oh, got some crazy music going on too. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think of the series, if there's any other particular games you want me to take a look at, and I'll see you guys next time.